This is a total body bar-inspired cardio workout for your follicular phase. This is that time after your flow days have ended, anytime before ovulation. So it's this period of building hormones, building energy levels. And with this initial phase of the cycle, sort of this clearing phase, there can be a bit of stagnation or congestion left over from the last half of your previous cycle and your flow days. So anything we weren't really able to clear energetically might still be hanging on, leaving you with a bit of heaviness. So I love these sort of weighted, challenging cardio workouts that give us an opportunity to move the entire body. So we'll be incorporating the entire body in each movement pattern. And the goal is just to clear pathways for energy to flow, to really stir up heat and energy so we can burn through anything that might be kind of weighing on us at the beginning of this cycle. We want to start fresh. We want to feel empowered and elevated as we start this fresh phase of the cycle. So in today's practice, we are using interval training, and it's a bit of a shake-up to our typical interval structure. So we have one movement pattern that will be our working interval of 45 seconds. Then we have kind of a twist on that movement pattern in pulsation. So that's where the work is, that kind of burn through any of that stagnant energy. We'll have that pulsing interval for 30 seconds, and then we'll have a cardio burst for 30 seconds. So we have this really full experience in each round. Each set of movements includes those 3 patterns. We'll complete each 3 times, and we have 5 of those sets. So it's a complete 30-minute workout. Don't sweat it if the structure sounds confusing. I will be walking you through each step of the way, guiding you through the mechanics and the form as we go. For today's practice, I do recommend having a light set of weights or even ankle and wrist weights if you have them, so that you don't have to worry about holding on to anything. But if you have some light weights, go ahead and grab them. I'm using a set of 3-pound dumbbells, and let me tell you, by the end of this workout, the 3 pounds felt like 20. So really err on the side of going a bit lighter. You can go as high as 5 pounds, but I would really kind of keep that to the max. So 5 pounds or less, you can go body weight only, especially as we get through to the second and third rounds of the particular patterns. You might be dropping the weights altogether and just really focusing on mind-muscle connection. So we will have a complete practice today. This includes a warm-up at the beginning and a cool down at the end. But if you're short on time or you're coming in from a walk, you're already warmed up and ready to move, you can skip ahead to the workout itself. I'll include time stamps for all of the relevant pieces of the workout in the description below. As always, I encourage you to watch this intro. If you're already watching it, you're here with me now, but watch it ahead of time so that you kind of have that imprint of what the workout's going to look like before you jump in, before you get started, so that you don't feel rushed, so that you can just be present with your breath the entire way through. So let's get started with today's movement practice. We are ready to begin our warm-up for this bar-inspired cardio practice with light weights. So we'll begin at the center of your mat. Let your feet be nice and wide apart. Just kind of shimmy and shake, exploring kind of any sensations that are rising to the surface in the body, just using this opportunity to connect through the breath. We'll begin with some shoulder circles here. Take your fingertips to your shoulders and circle the elbows. Let them shrug up and then back down, just creating some space in that joint here. Reverse the direction. And then let this expand a bit. Let your arms participate a bit more. Connecting with that deep belly breath in and out through the nose. Reverse the direction. Engaging the belly right here from the start, knitting the low ribs to the hip points. And then you can let that go. Let your hands come down by your sides, and we'll just begin a march in place. So taking opposite hand and opposite knee up. So just activating the low belly here, creating a bit of movement, maybe elevating the heart rate, generating some heat before we begin, before we pick up the weights. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step your feet about hips width distance apart. We're here for air squats. So we squat down and press up. Squat down and up. You can add some arms, sweep them up, just to create a bit more heat, getting the heart awakened, the lungs awakened here. Let's take 10 more. 10, 9, 8, connect with breath, warming the joints. 5 more. 4, you got this. 3, 2, and 1. Step it out wide. We'll alternate between lateral lunges, side to side. You can tap your fingers to the floor, side to side. Keep your heart upright and floating. Just moving through all planes of motion here, getting the heart ready to work, getting the body awakened, depending on the time of day that you're practicing. It can be so important. Even just 5 minutes of warming activity. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause in the center. We'll turn over your right foot. Come into a lunge. You can keep that back knee up or down, whatever feels best for you. Right hand stays planted, supported twist. Rotate the spine. Left arm really reaches, right arm reaches, fingertips toward the sky, square the hips. Working into rotation now. Coming through center, pause in a wide forward bend. So the key to warming activity is to move through all planes of the spine. Just really get your center warm. Come over your left leg now. Find that lunge. Keep the hips square. Right hand stays planted. Left arm spins open to the sky. Let the hips melt down here. Move the rotation into the upper back. Cervical spine as your gaze rotates towards those fingertips. Last big breath. And then release. Come back through center. Wide fold. Start to heel toe your feet. Back to hips width. Generous bend in the knees as you rise up. Reach up. Look up. And let your hands rest down by your sides. That's a quick warm up just to get the blood pumping, and we are ready to begin our workout. Now that your body is warmed up, we'll jump right into our bar-inspired cardio practice. I'm going to be using a set of 3-pound dumbbells for today just to add that bit of resistance, that bit of work to the cardio practice. You can go maybe as high as 5 pounds. I wouldn't go much higher than that. And you can also go body weight only. I'll be keeping time for you. We explained the structure in the intro, but we do have variable intervals with each triset of work. So I'll be walking you through, guiding you through the mechanics and the time so you don't have to sweat it. Just show up, stay present, and breathe through this workout. Once we start the timer, we'll have 20 seconds to set up. So I'll get that going now. Grab your weights. Our first movement pattern is a wide goddess squat. So we start in this position and we're going to draw the elbows into the back, keep the low ribs and hip points knitting together. And then we just alternate with a lateral raise and a toe tap. So that's our first movement. We'll go in 2 and 1. So we squat down, lift up, squat down low, lift up, keep the belly hugging in. So in this goddess squat, there can be a tendency to puff the low ribs out. Can you keep them hugging in? Keep the shoulders relaxed even through the work. So you should feel your whole back firing here. We're just here for 45 seconds, and then we move into our pulsing movement pattern. So that's the structure. We have a working interval, a pulsing interval, and then a cardio interval. We're here for 10. Last 5 seconds, and then we'll pulse. So hold your goddess squat here, nice and wide. Draw those hip points to low ribs, and we just pulse, pulse. So it's a tiny bend and extend. This is the classic bar pulse here. So be in the work. It's extend and bend. Tiny bend, little extension. You should feel the arms on fire here. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now our cardio burst. So we hug in, jump up, hug in, jump up. So these are weighted jacks, going from that starting position to standing with the weights overhead. We're just here for 30 seconds. You got this. And then we have 2 more rounds, just like that, before moving to our next triset of movement patterns. Last 3, 2, and 1. We have our rest period now, 15 seconds. And then we start at the top again with our squat and reach. So we'll be there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a quick transition. We squat down, lift up, shift the weight from one side to the other. Find your work here. Let the shoulders stay relaxed. So really avoiding that tendency to want to shrug in the shoulders to get those weights up. Even if you're using light weights, they start to get heavy in these repeated intervals. So stay strong. The entire posterior chain working for you here. This is a great movement pattern for creating better posture, greater awareness in the upper back and the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. We pulse it out here. So it's a bend and extend. Just a tiny pulse. A little bend with the elbows. Just to give you that release so that you're not holding the weights out to the side. Really feeling the work in the shoulders here. 10 more seconds. You got this. Stay strong. Belly hugging in. 3, 2, and 1. Cardio burst. Let's take it up and down. Squat jack. Take it wide and up. Just 30 seconds here, and then we have our rest. You got this. Halfway through this interval, let's stick with it. Let the heart rate elevate. Last 5. Find that quickness and rest. 15 seconds on the clock here. It goes by quick. Towel off, grab water if you need it. And then we're into our last round of that plie, squat, and lift. Here we go. Squeeze the elbows in and lateral raise. Or press out. Here we go. Shifting the weight from one side to the other. Working on balance. Posture here. You can also alternate sides if you're like me and your shoulders and your back are on fire. So maybe alternating and then going back to both. Taking what you need to make this a sustainable practice. Good mechanics from beginning to end. Last 3, 2, and 1. Give a little shake, and then we're here for 30 seconds. It's the pulse. Tiny bend and extend. You got this. Stay strong. It goes by fast. Can you sink the hips a little bit lower? Last 10. Stay with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cardio burst. Let's take it in and around. You got this. We're moving to our lunging sequence next. So get ready for that. We'll be turning to face the short edge of the mat. So taking the weights around as you hop up here. Last 5, 4, stay with it till the end, and 1, rest. We've got our 15 seconds here. We're coming into a lunge with a front raise. So it's a static lunge, nice and tight, no need to step super wide. As you come down, we're doing a front raise and up, front raise and up. So we're doing 3 rounds on one side, before switching to the other side. So this is our working interval, the longest interval at 45 seconds. And then we move into our pulsing interval. So be here. Belly strong. Shoulders over the hips. Try not to lean forward or round in the upper back. Feel the shoulders engaged and strong, but without hunching up. And then pause at the bottom, turn your palms up. Tiny pulse. It's bicep curls. It's just a gentle bend and extend. Find the rhythm that works for you. You should feel the legs firing. If you can, keep the elbows level with the shoulders the entire time. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it together, switch sides, pulse. Switch sides, pulse. So we just step back, pulse, and together. If you want to add some fire, instead of stepping, hop, switch, and pulse. Hop, switch, and pulse. You can always keep that step together. I'm going to turn up for the last 5 seconds. Pulse and rest. 15 seconds. We're right back into it. So that right leg is forward, left leg is back, 90-degree bends in both knees. It's just a static lunge with our front raise. Here we go. It's up and back. Arms go up, legs go down. Find that power. Try not to swing the weights. You are in control the entire way through. Our working interval here, just creating that blueprint of the lunge as we start to ramp it up. Find your breath here. We're here for 10 more seconds. So these working intervals start to feel like a bit of rest after the pulsation. Hold at the bottom, turn the palms up, and curl here. So this can be a big movement if you need it to be, or a tiny pulse. Keep the elbows lifted, level with the shoulders. We have 10 more seconds here. You got this. You can do anything for 10 more seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Step it together, pulse back. Step together, pulse back. Step together. So take what you need. If you need to turn it up, you can hop in between. I'm going to add that for the last 15 seconds. Here we go. Hop, switch, pulse, hop, switch. Squeeze the weights at heart center. We only have one more round after this on this side. And rest. You've got your 15 seconds of rest here. Should be moving into that working zone with the heart rate. Set up for your split squat or your lunge position. Here we go. Legs go down, arms go up. Last one on this side. Working interval here. We're going to switch up the arms for the second side, so don't worry too much. Although it will be a challenge again for the arms and shoulders. Here we go. Stay with it. You got this. 4, 15 more seconds. Shoulders stay relaxed. Map the shoulder blades. Press them onto the back. Map the movement to the breath. And then pause at the bottom. Palms turned up, we pulse. We're just here for 30 seconds. The legs on fire. Take what you need. You can come up if you need, just to let that lactic acid build up, flush out. We're only here for 10 more seconds. You got this. 5, 3, 2, 1. Cardio burst. Step it forward. Pulse. Squeeze the weights. Pulse. So same thing. You can be jumping the whole time, or join me at the 15-second mark in 2, 1. Pulse. Hop switch. Pulse. Hop switch. Pulse. Hop switch. We're just here. 4, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Our next movement pattern, we're taking the left leg forward, so I'll be opposite you here. I'm going to take this facing you so that you can see. It's a lateral raise. Here we go. Lateral raise and up, down and up. Here we go. You got this. Shoulders are on fire. You should feel the effects of that first side now on your back leg. So our working interval, 45 seconds here. Check in, stay with it, pause as you need to. Our rest periods are extremely short. We're in the follicular phase where recovery is a bit quicker, but take what you need. If you find yourself moving too much into the breathless zone, we'll pause at the bottom. Take it in and out, pulse, in and out. Feeling that burn in the legs. Here we go. Stay with it. Arms come in and out. Rest as you need to. This is about sustainability. So we want fuel left in the tank when we're done. And 1. Step it forward. Pulse back. So we have the same cardio burst on this side. You take your option. I'm going to turn to the side for more space here. Pulse. Step together. Pulse. Step together. Last 15. Add the hop switch if you like. We're here. 4, 5 more seconds. Push through till the end. You got this. And rest. We have 2 more like that. Working the left side now. Get your static lunge ready. And we're coming into our lateral raise with the arms. Here we go. It's down and up. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. You can use these 45-second intervals to sort of recalibrate the breath, collect your awareness. Can be a bit intense as we build and work through. Feeling those legs working on fire. Got a bit of heat. Last 10 seconds here. And then we're into our pulsation. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Pulse in and out. In and out. It's just 30 seconds. But it builds quickly. Here we go. Take what you need. You can also alternate sides. 1 and then the other. Maybe then both. I can't decide where I feel this more, in the arms or the legs. 3, 2, 1. Cardio burst. Let's step back and pulse together. Back, pulse together. So half of the interval to create the pattern. And then at the 15-second mark, we'll add the power. Here we go. Pulse back. Hop switch. Pulse. Hop switch. Keep the weights pressing at the heart. Last 5. And rest. Just like that. Round 2 is behind us. Shake it out. Get ready to come back strong. Left foot is forward, right foot is back. Find your lunge. We'll begin now. Here we go. Lateral raise. Feel that work. Notice where your mind is going as You get steeped in the challenge. Does your mind want to wander? Does it want to take you out of this experience? Can you be in the sensation? Really receiving the information from your body as it works. Here we go. Last 10 seconds on the clock. You got this. This is our last pulsation interval coming. In this position, here we go. Take it in and out. Be with your breath for 30 seconds. We're here. Stay with it. Elbows level with the shoulders. Here we go. If you need to come out, check back in. Belly stays strong. 3, 2, and 1. Step it together. We pulse and step together. Pulse, step together. Squeeze those weights at the heart. Keep the upper body participating. We'll add the hop switch at the 15-second mark. Here we go. Pulse, hop switch. Pulse, hop switch. Pulse, hop switch. We're here for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Our next movement, we're going straight into a plank with a front raise and tricep sweep. So you can always be in half plank with knees down, but it looks like this. It's a raise, tricep sweep, and back. Here we go. So raise it up, hammer curl position, reach back with the triceps, and to plank. Reach forward, back, and down. Forward, back, and down. So keep the low belly engaged by hugging the hip points and the low ribs toward each other. Keep the hips level and low. So they're going to want to hike up as the work gets tough. Keep it here. Really engage the triceps as you reach back. Last one here. And then we're doing our bear crawl hover, so you can step in and back. Gentle bend in the elbows to avoid dumping into that joint. Same thing on this side at the 15-second mark, adding a bit of power by hopping the knees in and back. In, bear crawl, back to plank. In and back. This is our pulsing pattern here and into our cardio. So we step forward, reach up. It's a burpee. You can hop or step back, take or leave the push-up. Step forward, reach up. So it's kind of either a walking or a hopping burpee, your choice. Whatever you need at this point in the workout. You can hop forward and back or step. We're in our rest interval here. Coming down, toweling off if you need it. Coming back into that front raise with the tricep kick. So focus on mind-muscle connection at both ends of the movement. Here we go. Let's begin. Strong plank, sweep it back. Raise it up and back. Forward, back to plank. You can always take this with the knees down and focus more on the upper body. Or add the work in plank. And down. You can alternate maybe one set each side or one rep each side with knees down. And then one rep each side with knees up. Coming to our pulsation now. Here we go. Knees come in, step it back to plank. Can you keep the hips at the same height the entire time? They don't move. Feel that belly engage. And then at the 15-second mark, we hop. Bear crawl, plank. bear crawl, plank. Keep that micro bend in the elbows so that your arms stay engaged. And coming into our cardio burpees here. Hop forward, press up, come back, take or leave the push-up, and hop up. Press overhead. You can even add the hop at the top if you have it in you. Here we go. We're already through our second round here. And rest. Coming back down for our third and final round of these 3 movement patterns. Getting ready for plank. And then we just have one more set after this to round out our 30 minutes of solid work. Here we go. Plank, lift it forward, sweep it back and down. Front raise, sweep and down. Front raise, tricep kick and back. You should feel some serious heat in the belly. Take your options. If you're feeling any strain at all in the lower back, just bring the knees down. Still tons of work to be done here. And down. Lift it forward. Back and down. Here we go. Back and down. Last 5 seconds. Up, back, and down. Coming into our bear crawl, hovers. So we step the knees forward, back to plank, forward, back to plank. You can alternate the foot that you lead with, but don't sweat it too much. Last 10 seconds, hop it out and in, out and in. Here we go. Last 5. And come up for our cardio burst burpees. Here we go. Hop back, optional push-up. Hop forward and up. Your choice here. You can make this high or low impact, fast or slow, wherever you enjoy your burpees. They are going to be cardio. Doesn't take much with burpees to elevate that heart. And rest. We are through that set, sweat dripping. You got this. We're coming into our alternating lateral lunge, so the feet are nice and wide. We're just adding a row and then an upright row in the middle. So we come down, row, elbows straight back, through center, row, down, elbows hug in, up, right row. Here we go. We're just alternating sides here. Down, elbows in, through center, rise up. So it's a close row, narrow grip row here, and then an upright row. You can pick up the pace if you have it in you for these last few rounds, this last movement pattern series here. Here we go. Last 3, 2, 1. Our pulsation here is a fly and together. Fly and together. Reverse fly and together. So it's a little quicker. Side to side. Upper back on fire. This one has been more challenging than expected for the upper back. It's a cardio workout, but we're getting that upper body in a sustainable way. Now we're hopping, so we tap down and down. You can keep the weights close as you switch between alternate lateral lunges, or you can take them wide. Your choice. Find what works for you in the arms. Last 5. And rest, 15 seconds. We just have 2 more rounds, and then our cool down of weights. Step it wide. Get ready for that lateral lunge with a row. You might start with the opposite side this time. Lunge, Row, come through center, lift them up. Row, elbows hug in. Row, elbows reach up. So hug them into your sides and then up through center. Into the sides, up through center. This practice, even if you're doing body weight only, you have that mind-muscle connection, really creating engagement in the upper back. So good for posture. So good for elevating the way that we carry ourselves in the world. Last 3, 2, and 1. Now we pulse. It's a fly together. Reverse fly and together. Keep the hips low if you can, at one height the entire way. So you're just kind of gliding from one side to the other. Pulse. So the legs are quick, the arms are slow. Here we go. 4, 2, and 1. Find your cardio burst here. Tap opposite hand to opposite foot as you reach the opposite limbs out to the side. You can also, if that's too much in the arms, just keep it close, more like our narrow grip row. We're here. 4, 5. And rest. Very last round here, coming into the home stretch. In about 5 more seconds here. Step it out wide. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Stay with it till the end. Solid, high quality reps from start to finish. Up through center. Back through center. You got this. Back through center. Here we go. And up. Row and upright. So the elbows come straight back and then straight up to the sides. Straight back and up. Almost done with this working interval in 3, 2, 1. Now we pulse. Reverse fly, side to side. We're just here for 30 seconds. You got this. Finish strong. Feel your upper back working the entire time. Even as you lower the weights, don't give it over to momentum. Stay in control. So the muscles under tension, all the way up and all the way down. And come through center. The last round here. Alternating hops. The legs step out. You can keep the arms close or reach them out. Take up space. You got this. What can you give for 15 more seconds? Here we are. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You did it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Excellent, excellent work. Step it out side to side here. Just creating a bit of transition movement before we drop into our cool down. You might reach the arms up and squat low to breathe. So just finding some intermediate movement. So we don't want to let the body crash from our highest elevated working zone to stillness. So we provide this bit of transition here. Let's take it lunge to the center, lunge to the center. So we're just finding some of that in-between movement as we let the heart rate come down. This is a complete workout that includes warm-up and cool down. So I hope that you'll stick with me. Step together and apart for our cool down. It's very quick, but again, it just gives the body, the mind, the breath, that period of transition so we're not crashing down and rushing into the rest of the day. So we'll begin our cool down now. I hope that you can join us. Step to the top of your mat, feet hips width distance apart. Soften the shoulders. Cross your right leg over left. Really root down through both feet. Reach the arms up. Clasp your left wrist with right fingertips. Lean up and over to the right. You can bend the right knee deeply. Really opening the shoulders, so letting the shoulders stay even with the ears. Not rounding the back, but really expanding across the chest. Come through center, release the hands, keep the legs as they are. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. So this should feel really good in the outer legs, maybe rooting down through the ball mounds of the feet, rocking forward and back, side to side. And then start to shift weight into the balls of your feet so much that your heels lift. We're just going to spin to face the back of the mat. So turn towards your right foot. Turn, 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 turn. Pivot on the balls of the feet until you're facing the other side of your mat now. Begin to walk the hands out to a downward dog. You can keep the heels elevated, knees bent. This is really just an entry point. Maybe pedaling out the feet. One heel and then the other, stretching the backs of the legs. And then as you're ready, come through tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Sway the hips side to side. Wag your tail. We'll take a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhaling, soften the belly, send the gaze up, shine the sitting bones back. From the sitting bones, round in, ripple down the entire spine till you reach the crown, chin to chest. And then twice more like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round and cat. Last one, inhale. And exhale, round. From here, keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands as far forward as they'll go. Let your heart soften to the mat. You can bring your forehead to the earth, maybe even chin to the earth. So really trying to work into the upper back here and create length in the spine. So can you press your shins, tops of the feet down, energetically drag them back. Same thing with the arms. Can you press your forearms, palms down and forward? And just allow these 2 points to create an anchor between which you can elongate the spine. Slowly come back up. Find your downward dog as you're ready. Gaze forward, bend your knees, lift your heels. Step your feet to your hands. Generous bend in the knees, slowly roll up bone by bone to standing. And then we'll enjoy the other side now. So crossing left leg over right, reach the arms up. Take your right wrist and your left fingertips, lean up and over to the left. Side body stretch here, again, letting the shoulders stay even with the ears. Can you really root down through that right foot to lengthen the side waist? Come through center, big inhale. And as you exhale, fold over your legs. Bend and straighten the legs. Maybe rock side to side in the hips. Really feel the supporting musculature of the legs. Getting a little love here. Then begin to shift your weight forward. Come onto the ball mounds of both feet so that your heels are free to rotate. And then begin to walk toward your left toes, so walking to the right, and pivot on the toes until you're facing the other side of your mat. Slowly walk out to downward dog. Pedaling out the feet here. And then as you're ready, letting the knees touch down. This time we'll work through thread the needle to add that last bit of rotation for the spine here. Inhale, right arm reaches open. Square the hips. Let the shoulders rotate. And then wrap that right arm under, right ear to the mat. Square the hips once again. Shine your sitting bones and hip creases up and back. And then release, let the right arm open. Wrap the right arm behind you to your low back. Square the shoulder, square the hips. And then bring left ear to left shoulder. Really releasing any tension you might have in the neck and shoulders from A lot of very targeted work in the shoulders and the upper body. And then slowly right hand touches down. Second side now. Inhale, left arm sweeps open. And as you exhale, wrap it under. And let the hips square. Imagine someone drawing your hip creases up in space. Allow the low back to release. So just really receive the twist here. And then slowly reopen that left arm. Wrap the left arm around your low back. Square the shoulders, square the hips. This time right ear to right shoulder. Let the head drop down and back up. And then left hand touches down to the earth. Walk the hands out in front of you. Come down onto the belly. Let your forearms stay planted. Finding Sphinx pose here. Great stretch for the front side of the body. So pressing down, elbows to wrists, all the way through the palms. And then energetically drag back so you can slingshot your heart through the upper arms. Press the hips down, lengthen up through the spine. You might circle the head here, just freeing the cervical spine, the neck, just sort of being on the lookout for any bits of tightness or tension that remains so that you don't carry that with you. And then pillow your hands, let your forehead rest on your hands, just a breath or two here, our final resting posture. Hear the sound of your breath as it echoes between your body and the floor. Can you create this place, this sacred place of self, of awareness, of presence? Just sort of letting yourself experience the glow that comes after that hard work. Celebrate that effort here. And carry that elevated attitude with you as you prepare to transition. Slowly pressing into the hands as you're ready. Coming onto the knees or finding your comfortable seat, wherever that may be. Just scanning your body once again. Noticing anything that has shifted, that has moved, that has cleared this follicular phase. The intention is to just really shake off any stagnant energy that remains from our flow days, from the last half of our previous cycle, so that we can begin anew. This can be a fresh start, a clean slate. So I hope that you're experiencing a bit of that here as we've moved energy through the body, created new pathways. So thank you for being here, for sweating with me, and for letting your body be moved.